Alright then, now that we've absorbed the news that Season 8 is going to be the next release in the BBC's Doctor Who The Collection Blu-ray series, it's time for us to delve into the details. I'm Jason Arnott, a writer of stuff including Doctor Who. If you want to find out more, then take a look downstairs in the video description, where you'll also find handy pre-order links for this box set. If you haven't already ordered it, by the way, I would urge you to, because these things have a nasty habit of selling out fast. I'm going to take a good look at three aspects of this forthcoming box set, namely the artwork, the serials themselves within Season 8, and lastly, of course, the special features. All of which I'm going to divide into 3 chapters. Now, obviously I prefer you to watch all of the video, but you might be mainly interested in 1 or maybe 2 aspects of the box set, and if that's the case, you can use chapters to go straight there. Let chapter 1 begin. Let's have a look at Lee Binding's typically fantastic artwork. As always, what really hits you first with these amazing covers are the colours. The colour coordination is quite something. Let's take a look at the Third Doctor first, and he is looking resplendent in that rich purple gown thing. He's holding a very vital part of his TARDIS and sporting lovely frilly cuffs. He just looks great. He looks like a classic Doctor, which of course is what he very much is. Okay, now the Doctor looks fantastic, we've established this, so let's take a look at the foes of Season 8, who are also assembled with the Doctor on this cover. This is classic Roger Delgado, isn't it? You will obey me. And then moving around clockwise, we have Azal from the Demons. Look how satanic Azal is looking there. He looks absolutely brilliant. That's really quite frightening, isn't it? You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, or indeed a very well lit one. Continuing to move around clockwise, we have another really iconic image. So iconic, in fact, that I believe it's been used in the trailer for this season box set. I haven't had a chance to watch the trailer yet, but I'm going to soon. Yeah, this version of the Auton is really quite a bizarre image, isn't it? Look at the state of him. I mean, the straw hat, straw bow tie. He looks like he's wearing the 5th Doctor's outfit, and yet the overall effect is so weird and discombobulating and altogether Doctor Who-ish that it works so well. Moving around, we have a fantastic Axon. I was watching The Claws of Axos only last night. We'll talk about the serials properly in the next chapter, but for the moment, let's just appreciate this Axon's organic glory. Axons and crinoids look a bit the same, don't they? They look a bit similar, whereas crinoids are kind of more green and they look like they might have pulled themselves out of your potato patch, and axons are kind of more red, so I guess they do look more alien and bizarre, don't they? Not that they don't both look bizarre, but you know what I mean. Love an axon. And then we have, look at this little fellow up here. Look at his little face, his little scoochy face. We have the Guardian. Now, I wonder whether Lee Binding might have been a bit torn as to whether to use the Guardian or the IMC robot from Colony in Space, because they're both, I would say they're both pretty iconic images. But nevertheless, the Guardian looks splendid. Yeah, this cover works like an absolute charm. Let's take a look inside the box. We've got a lovely shot here. By the way, it's just struck me that there's something going on with numbers in this box set. After all, it's Season 8, and there are 8 discs in this set, which, by the way, accounts for the price increase with this particular set. And this is actually the 8th release in the Doctor Who The Collection series. So that's one for numerology fans. Anyway, getting down to business, let's have a look at these top 4 discs here. And straight away, I can see that the chap with wings himself, Bok, is present and correct. Now, we can't entirely see what's on all of these discs, although hilariously we can see Azal's horns poking up at the top there. That's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? He'd be rubbish at hide and seek. And then we have the TARDIS on what looks like the bonus disc, yes. We have a bit of Colony in Space action with the Doctor and Jo in another quarry, let's be honest. And I'm pretty sure that's the Doctor's face from the title sequence, isn't it? Beneath those Blu-ray trays there. And then on the booklet, we've got a very commanding image of the Doctor and Jo and the Master's mask, with the Master skulking away on the sidelines there. And there's the Master again on the Mind of Evil disc, along with Captain Chin Lee. We can also glimpse a bit of Axon action there on that disc on the left-hand side. And on Terror of the Autons, We don't have any Autons, but there might be more than one Autons disc perhaps, I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We've got a Daffodil at least, and we've got the Doctor, Joe, and of course the good old Brigadier. And I see that the IMC robot is getting in on the action there on the Colony in Space disc. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get hold of this actual box set in February 2021 when this is released, February the 23rd to be precise, and open it up for your pleasure. So we've seen the absolutely wonderful artwork on the box and to a certain extent inside the box. We know that that's fantastic, so let's turn our minds as we enter chapter 2 to the serials themselves, the serials of season 8. We've got 5 serials and they're all pretty special in their different ways. Terror of the Autons, what a fantastic season opener that is. And of course season 7 had started with an Auton story, so I guess the production team might have thought that was wise to lead with the Autons again. And indeed, I think I enjoy Terror of the Autons more, frankly, than Spearhead from Space. It's hard to say why that is. I mean, obviously the presence of the Master is a bonus, and of course at this point we should acknowledge up front that this was the first ever serial and season, of course, for the Master in Doctor Who history. Really, that's why this box set, I think, is coming out in 2021, because it's the Master's 50th anniversary year. So yeah, it's the 57th anniversary of the show, which I celebrated in a 2-hour live stream the other night, which you should watch if you haven't. It was so much fun. I'll put a card up there in case you fancy watching it, but obviously watch till the end of this video first. And Roger Delgado, as we all know, is just brilliant as the Master. He really makes that role his own, as much as I love a lot of the actors who have played the Master since. And I particularly love Anthony Ainley, I have to say. Delgado was the first and the original, and he created what the Master was. Obviously along with the writers who created the Master, you understand. But I think I prefer Terror to Spearhead, mainly because Terror has so many set pieces. It's all about the scary set pieces, isn't it? You've got the doll that terrorizes people, you've got the deadly daffodils, you've got the Doctor reaching over in a moving car to pull off a policeman's face. I mean, what other show would that happen in? It wouldn't happen in The Bill. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Terror of the Autons, and down in comments, by the way, I want you to tell me which is your favourite serial of this season, and of course, as always, I want to hear why. So Terror of the Autons is a truly wondrous start to season 8, and it's followed by The Mind of Evil. Now, I know a lot of people really rate this story. Personally, I don't so much, and I'm going to try and explain why. I think there's 2 reasons really. As I said in the live stream the other night, I am kind of 12 years old when it comes to Doctor Who. I need monsters, and I mean proper monsters. I know the Master is in The Mind of Evil, as indeed he is in every serial in this season, but it doesn't really have proper monsters in it. I mean, Captain Lee does turn into a dragon, but I'm not sure if that really counts, especially as it's only really a hallucination caused by the box. And secondly, the whole thing is a bit too much of an espionage fest for me. It doesn't really tick my boxes in what I personally want from a Doctor Who serial. But I know that even as I say this, there are going to be people chomping at the bit to tell me why I'm wrong. Well, you know, I can't be wrong because it's the way I feel. But still, I want you to tell me, I want you to get down there in defence of The Mind of Evil. If it's your favourite, then tell me why. Tell me why you love it. I'd love to hear that. And of course, I don't hate The Mind of Evil, but you know, if I'm watching a Third Doctor serial, then it probably isn't going to be that one. Now, The Claws of Axos, on the other hand, oh my God, I watched this last night and I just loved it all over again. I can't say enough good things about The Claws of Axos. I actually think that it's my favourite serial in this season, although of course the demons, it's tricky. I could and probably will do a dedicated video about The Claws of Axos. Tell me down in comments if you'd like to see that. I think the one thing that I really love most about The Claws of Axos is that aliens have seldom seemed so alien. The Axons are just deranged, absolutely mad, and I absolutely love that they take on so many different forms. We see them in about 10 different forms in this story. How many other Doctor Who stories and Doctor Who enemies can you say that about? I'm really amazed the Axons never came back in the TV show. That's really bizarre. I really think they should in future because they're wonderful. One of the key things to get right when you're writing something scary is to keep the fear evolving and changing. That's why John Carpenter's The Thing is so brilliant, because the Thing never looks the same way twice. And that for me is why the Axons are super creepy. And of course super trippy as well. I mean, the whole thing is one big trip, let's be honest. And I certainly had a fantastic trip with it, yes. Colony in Space. There's a good story. I mean, as I said before when we were talking about the artwork, Guardian and the IMC robot are very much in my head. I think because of the Doctor Who monster book, which I made a video about. Card up there so you can have a look at that if you haven't already. Yeah, I love the monster book, and all the images in that are just burnt into my brain, and the Guardian and the IMC robot are very much two of those images. And of course the Master's in it again. What a shock. I must admit, I'm not sure if the Master really needed to be in the Claws of Axos because the Axons were so strong. He's probably more essential in Colony in Space, I would say, which is a really good story. I really enjoyed it, yeah. But as you can probably tell, I can't wait to get to the demons, or the daemons. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's demons, right? Give me your version down in comments. This story, I mean, has Doctor Who ever seemed more satanic and more evil and more hammer horror? It is literally the Doctor versus Satan. You know, long before the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit came along, a two-part story which I love, by the way, as you might expect. It's just an absolute classic in every respect, from the scary stuff right down to the funny stuff with the chap with the wings there, 5 rounds rapid line from the Brigadier. I mean, that probably is the funniest line in all of Doctor Who history, I would say. So the Demons, I think, ends season 8 with the Pertwee era really firing on all cylinders. For me, Terror of the Autons, the Claws of Axos and the Demons are the 3 tent posts that really help season 8 stand tall. So it's a seriously strong season, and given the technical difficulties which have befallen this particular season over the years and so much of Pertwee's era, I can't wait to see what these serials look like remastered or remastered on this Blu-ray set. Right, let's get into the third and final chapter of this video, in which we talk about the special features. And down in comments, as I go through these features, I want to hear what you're most excited about. Now, I must admit, I actually haven't really read this list properly because I've kind of been waiting to react to it in this video. Honestly, the things I do for you, eh? Now, I am going to unashamedly read off the screen. I can't memorize it all. I'm not an actor. Well, apart from in Lords of Chaos, that movie, and actually Doctor Who once. I'll have to tell you about that sometime, won't I? Okay, so behind the sofa we have back, and that's marvellous. I mean, we have a fantastic duo straight away in Katie Manning and Stuart Bevan. They're great, and I believe they're both in the trailer, right? I'm looking forward to watching that. And then we've got Janet Fielding and Sarah Sutton. I mean, they're a brilliant duo. I think it's great that we've got 2 new people on the sofa in the shape of Sacha Dhawan, who of course so memorably played the Master in this most recent series, and Anjali Mohindra. So I'm looking forward to Behind the Sofa, yeah. I always do. I think it's really good fun. It's a blatant homage to Gogglebox, and all the better for it. Matthew Sweet is interviewing Katie Manning. Great. Matthew Sweet, I've really enjoyed his interviews in the past, so I'm sure that will be really good. I did a video actually with some clips from the season 10 box set in which Matthew was interviewing Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss about Jon Pertwee. You might want to hunt that down in the Doctor Who playlist. I'll put a link down below in the video description. A Devil's Weekend. So you've got Katie Manning and John Levine going back to the village of Oldbourne 50 years after they recorded the Doctor Who story, The Demons there. Yeah, that'll be lovely. I'm looking forward to that. Another feature called The Direct Route. Doctor Who directors Michael Bryant, Graham Harper and Tim Combe take an epic road trip to all the filming locations from season 8, all the filming locations, as they discuss directing the show in the early 1970s. Oh, that's going to be lovely. The Blu-ray trailer will be on the Blu-ray set, as we'd expect. An extended episode 1 of The Claws of Axos. That's interesting. Yeah, actually I was watching the special features on the original Claws of Axos DVD last night, and yeah, a lot of studio footage survived from the first episode of Axos. and so I guess that this extended version is being put together from some of that, because there were quite a few little scenes I noticed that had been deleted from the serial. A 90-minute omnibus edition of The Demons. Yes, please. That's all I can say about that. Yes, please. Immersive 5.1 surround sound on Terror of the Autons and The Demons, one for the audio files there. I don't have a 5.1 set up myself, but fair play to you. Optional updated special effects and CSO cleanup on Terror of the Autons. Now, I love a bit of updated special effects. Obviously, I'd never want it to replace the original, but I like having the option there. How do you feel about that? Tell me in comments. So I'm looking forward to that on Autons. Unseen studio footage. I quite like the raw studio footage because it really takes you back, literally, to the studio floor and what it was like back in those days. Rare archive treats, that's a bit vague, frankly. Convention footage, HD photo galleries, scripts, costume designs, rare BBC production files, and lots more. And there's a note at the bottom as well to say that the 8-disc box set also includes hours of special features previously released on DVD. And I'm presuming that includes the stuff that was on the Claws of Axos special edition that I haven't seen. Time to make the spectacles of doom disappear. Oh, magic. I have asked you for lots of things down in comments, and I want you to get down there and answer every single one of them, damn it. Meanwhile, here, and here, you'll see other Doctor Who related videos that you might want to watch on this channel. If you look over here, you'll see a list of my wonderful supporters at Patreon. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, don't forget to embrace your obsessions.